All right. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about adding and subtracting radicals now. We already simplified them. And when we're adding and subtracting, if you look up on top of here at the notes here, okay, we're going to look for the radical expression to be similar. It's very similar to adding and subtracting fractions. You know how you have to have a common denominator? On here, the radicands have to be the same. When they are the same, then all you're going to do is add or subtract the coefficients. So if you look at the first two examples here, like a fraction, they kept the radicand, sort of like the denominator because it was common, and then they did 6. Now remember there's a 1 here, that's where they got the 7 from. And then the second example, same thing, 6a was your common denominator as a fraction or radicand. And then 4 minus 9 was negative 5. When they are not the same, your job is to break them down like we did in the previous unit. And then once they're the same, you're going to do the step we did up here on the top. So for instance, with 8, you remember 8 could be broken down as 4 and 2. And again, what I like to do is make my list of perfect squares. So I have them 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. We don't really get that high. The numbers aren't going to be that big, okay? So in this case, this broke down as a 4 and a 2, so the 2 came out. That's where we got the 2a. This one was a 9 and a 2, so that came out as a 3, and then we added it up. So we're going to do a couple on the bottom here, then I'm going to have you do some of these on your own. So let's take a look at 1 where they're common. Take a look at 2 when they're common, okay? Common ones are real easy, just like if you were doing the fraction. So in number 1, the common radicand is 5, and then 7 and 3 added up together would be 10, okay? In number 4, your common number is 8. Now remember there's a negative 1 here, right? So negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Now the directions tell you to simplify. So hopefully you will catch that 8 has a what in it? 4 and a 2, right? And the square root of 4 is 2, so I'm going to bring that out. All right, so that would be a negative 3 times 2, because the 4 came out, right? And then negative 3 times 2 would be negative 6. Radical 2 would be my final answer, right? Now, we're going to go to a couple of them. Let's take a look at 7. You'll notice 7 does not have a common radicand or denominator if you're still thinking fractions. So we're going to break them down. We're going to simplify them like we did in the other video. So in this case, 18 will be broken down as 9 and 2. And then let's break down 32 also. 32 could be broken down as 16 and 2. All right, so the 9 is going to come out as a 3 root 2. The 16 is going to come out as a 4 root 2. Now you have a common radicand, which is going to be 2. And then if you add 3 and 4 together, you're going to get 7. Okay? Let's take a look at one more here. And we're going to do the next one right next to it. All right? 80 minus 20. Again, let's break them down first. So we have 16 and 5 minus 4 and 5. You'll notice the 5's in common, so let's take out the perfect square. So that would be 4 radical 5 minus 2 radical 5. Now we have the same radical, which is going to be 5. And 4 minus 2 is 2. You are done. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to finish the rest of these for me, and then I will have the answer key for you to check. Okay?